Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 modding video. Today we're checking out yet another gun mod. This is going to be a brand new release by myself and Pig, known as the Assault Pistol. Now I know the concept of an assault pistol is kind of out there. You don't really see an assault pistol, and well, that's because it's taken from a real-life concept that was pretty out there. And that is the real-life prototype known as the Colt Scamp. The Colt Scamp was intended to be an assault pistol designed to replace assault rifles with a pistol. Okay, none of that's true, It turns out it was intended to replace the 1911, but the mod's already out, so fuck. It was a pretty crazy idea then, and it's still a pretty crazy idea now. The original was chambered in 22 Scamp, which was 5.56 by, I believe, 29, a very, very short round. Very similar to 22, but a little bit beefier. But we opted to chamber this thing in 5.56 full-length rifle rounds, and made the Scamp a little bit bigger, put it in burst fire just like the real-life weapon, and made it sort of a power armor pistol. So the assault pistol is a big 5.56 pistol held by power armor that can actually do the job of the prototype, but actually work, especially because, you know, it is Fallout. Alternate timeline where this thing actually reached full production. They scaled it up for power armor and made this a really nice compact way to spread 5.56. A lot of damage in a very small package, at least compared to rifles. This thing is definitely different, a very, very unique pistol. Something you're not going to see much of on the Nexus, but it's a pretty fun one. This thing looks goofy as all hell, but we made some even goofier attachments and made this thing really, really fun to customize and play with. It is a heavy assault pistol. It is intended for the mid to late game, and this thing is honestly pretty strong. In fact, because of the burst fire, you're getting 3 shots of 5.56 out there very, very fast. And for some reason, Pig continues to not listen to my advice to scale down the magazine size, so you have really big magazine capacities, allowing you to spread out lots and lots of 5.56. I believe this thing starts spawning around the same time as the assault rifle, so it's not going to be too OP. It's going to be about the same balancing as the vanilla game. But it is still very, very strong. Again, this is a very lightweight weapon compared to the assault rifle. It is intended for power armor, but you don't have to use power armor at all. It is just a very, very strong compact package. And what's really cool about it is there's no 5.56 pistols in the base game. So now you actually get the opportunity to use a 5.56 pistol, but have it use pistol perks instead of rifle perks, which is really, really nice for balancing. What's really funny about this gun too is that this is our first 5.56 gun somehow. One of the most common ammo types in real life and in video games and in the modding scene. Somehow this is our first, the Scamp. The gigantic, crazy-looking burst 5.56 pistol is our first 5.56 gun. That's just funny. Now, some more details about the actual mod side of this, instead of all of the fun details. This thing has a ton of attachments over at the weapons workbench, including some brand new attachments that we are testing out with this mod for the first time. It has custom animations, which are really cool. They're going to be altered versions of the 10mm that remove some of the things that made the vanilla animation not work, but I have to say they look pretty cool on this weapon, and the burst fire looks really cool. This does include a burst fire framework, which is really, really nice. And of course, this thing is added to the level list, so you can find this thing all over the world, spawning on Gunners and Brotherhood of Steel soldiers. So it makes sense. It's a power armor gun. It's going to be used by characters who use power armor, but also ones who don't, like Gunners. I think Gunners would like this thing quite a lot. It's another way for them to use all that probably surplus 5.56 that they have laying around. Additionally, you can of course purchase this thing from shops, and all of this will start happening after level 24, which I believe is just a bit shy of the level that the assault rifle spawns at. That being said, the assault rifle has some set spawns, so it kind of balances out. On top of all of that, there's also 2 uniques, as we usually do. There's a couple of uniques that you can find, one of which is going to be a bit of a tweak on how this weapon performs as a whole, and the other is sort of leaning into one of the factions. A faction that we don't really get to play with too much, so stay tuned for that when we go over those in more detail. I think you'll like them quite a bit. Speaking of more detail, I think it's time we head over in-game. I think that covers most of the basics. Let's start checking out the stats and animations for this gun, because it's pretty dang interesting. Now then, let's go ahead and start off with the stats of this weapon, as there's some things I'd like to clear up before you download this. For starters, this thing has a base damage of 30. Again, ignore the big 68 there. This is the game I play in my free time, so the perks are a little bit wonky. But it uses a damage of about 30. That being said, one full burst is about 90 damage since you get 3 shots off. But you may not hit them all. So if it's a big target, you're going to be getting out lots of damage, but you kind of need that for a big target. That being said, a humanoid, you might miss a couple, so it's a little bit more balanced, but you'll still hit a lot, especially in VATS. Now then, this thing does use 5.56 like we said. This one is completely vanilla, no munitions required. I try to do about a 50-50 split between munitions and vanilla weapons, so everybody gets something to enjoy. That being said, you can always patch this thing to your liking, whether you want to remove or add munitions, it's up to you. You do what you want. It's modding, that's what it's all about. Fire rate of 136, that isn't going to be completely accurate because it is burst fire. So the way it reads that is, it treats this weapon that it is automatic, but it's actually not automatic because it uses burst fire. So that is its auto fire rate. Burst fire is completely different. It's a little bit slower than that, so just be aware. Range of 125 with no attachments, accuracy of 56, a weight of 4 pounds, and a value of 109. The biggest thing here is big damage, well, 30, still pretty big, compared to 4 pounds of weight. Pretty dang good deal. Now then, let's go ahead and check out animations for this guy, because they're quite fun. We'll start off by doing an accuracy test. As you can see, burst fire. Very fun. It means you're definitely going to be able to hit what you're shooting at with at least one of the bullets, but the rest of them might fly off target. Like, I guarantee you all 3 did not hit that last target there. That being said, there's another look at the actual animations. Let's go ahead and mag dump this thing. Just some nice War Daddy 10mm animations. Really simple stuff, but it definitely just works. Really, really cool gun. It's got a funky little charging handle in the front there. This thing is just neat. It was such a cool gun when I saw the concept of it. I wanted to make it forever, and so now we did. So that is the scamp. That being said, let's start talking about some of those uniques in this mod. I suppose we'll start off with one of the more basic variants, which is the Vindicator. This is going to be a Brotherhood of Steel unique, which is actually the first Brotherhood of Steel unique I think I've ever made. I don't really do stuff for the Brotherhood of Steel, but this is a weapon that actually fits them very, very well. Even though they don't use a ton of ballistic weapons, I think this is one that fits very nicely. And the paint job is really cool. The black and the red, super, super neat. This thing does 50% more damage against super mutants because, I mean, Brotherhood of Steel. Of course it does. If you're going to make a Brotherhood of Steel unique, it's got to do more damage to the mutants. That's just kind of their whole shtick. And that's pretty much it. A very, very simple unique. But we have one that's a little bit more complicated. That being said, if you want to get your hands on this one, you can actually find it over in Recon Bunker Theta. Now, there is a unique there in the base game, which is going to be the Survivor Special, but that's an energy weapon. So if you're playing the Brotherhood of Steel and you want to get a unique from there that is ballistic, this is going to be your option instead, if you use this mod. Now, we do have one other unique, and that is going to be Spitfire, which, as you can see, has a sweet paint job based on some old World War II plane paints. Comes in completely green with yellow stripes and the sweet shark paint. Super, super cool. And additionally, this thing is full auto. I know it's typically in burst. The normal variant of this gun, as well as the other unique, are burst only. But this gun is completely full auto, which allows you to spray 5.56 as much as you'd like. And this also has a 25% less action point cost, so it's pretty good in VATS as well. Pretty cool little package here. If you want to get your hands on this one, going with the airplane theme, you can actually find it over at the Boston airport. But you don't have to be part of the Brotherhood of Steel for this one. You actually can get that just by going over to the airport. You don't need to have even had the Prib one show up yet. You can go and get it immediately. And now then, it is time, of course, to check out everything to offer over at the weapons workbench. What kind of sweet attachments do we have today? Starting off with the receivers, we've got standard all the way up through powerful. Again, these are all burst receivers, so nothing's going to change there. But you might get a little fire rate increase from rapid receiver, or you might get some damage from the powerful. It's kind of up to you how you want to tune this guy. For barrels, we have the short barrel, a medium length barrel, a medium ported barrel with some nice vents on the side, a long barrel, and a long ported barrel, which makes this thing look almost like a Star Wars blaster, especially with some of the other attachments available. For grips, we have the option for no grip, kind of like how the Scamp comes standard, but we also throw on some side plates in the form of a standard wood grip, a comfort grip in plastic, and a sharpshooter's grip in plum bakelite, which looks pretty cool. For magazines, we have standard, quick, medium, medium quick, large, and large quick, offering... Pig just patched this, so I don't think I can give you the exact numbers. I think it's 18, 24, and 32, something in that ballpark. It's a bit much, but it's 18, 24, and 30. There you go, all divisible by 3. It's a pretty powerful little gun, gonna be honest. But we have more options in the form of scopes. We have iron sights, glow sights, which come with a really cool ring sight. I have to say, it's actually really, really fun to use that. We've got a dot sight, a hollow sight, a reflex sight, a laser sight, which of course has our functional laser aiming, a scope, and a night vision scope. Pretty fun options there. We also have some more stuff though in the form of muzzles. We've got a flash hider, which again adds to that really crazy Star Wars look. We've got a muzzle booster for even more fire rate. a compensator, a muzzle brake, and a suppressor. I also have to admit, I took a little inspiration from the AN-94 when it comes to the muzzle brake, because it's a burst fire gun, and that just looks really, really funny on this guy, to be honest. That one was for me. And then finally, we have an accessory slot where you get even more attachments. We have the option for no accessory, of course. You can also throw on a fully functional flashlight, if you're into that kind of thing. We also have the targeting laser, which is not like the aiming laser. This one actually marks targets for you, which I think is very fitting for a more advanced gun like this for the Brotherhood of Steel. We also added an even more advanced new option, and that is a VATS targeting module. This is going to be completely integrated with VATS. So if you use this guy, it's actually going to give you a better chance to hit things in VATS. It increases your accuracy, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. Everybody I've talked to so far seems to really, really have liked this idea. It's pretty unique, pretty neat, and we may be including this in more mods if people like it. I think it's a pretty cool one. But with that, that is all of the attachments for the assault pistol. So yeah, guys, that video feels like it flew by, but that is everything with the assault pistol known as the Colt Scamp. Again, a non-munitions version is available right now. If you want to get munitions in it yourself, you can kind of patch that as you will. We won't be adding an official one, as 5.56 kind of makes the most sense for this gun. If you want to download this mod right now, it'll be linked down in the description as always. There may or may not be an Xbox port, as usual. I am not entirely sure if there is one out yet, but if there isn't, I'm sure it'll be there very, very soon. As usual, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and consider dropping a like, and if you enjoy the mod on Nexus, consider dropping an endorsement. It really helps it out. If you'd like to support my work directly, you can do so using the link down in the description to support me down on Patreon, but you do not have to. That is completely optional. Just a place for you to donate if you're into that kind of thing. If you'd like to support my work, you can do so, but you can also just support my work by watching these videos, downloading these mods. Of course, you do not need to donate at all. It's just there as an option. With that, again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace!